YouTube is full of videos about good knives. It's full of videos about bad knives. It's high time that someone makes a video about weird knives. This is 3 Weird Knives, and I'm your host, JJJinks!
Let's get weird.
Thank you for joining me for episode 2 of 3 Weird Knives with JJJinks.
Unleash the fury!
This knife popped up on my Amazon suggested search list, and wow, that algorithm is right on. This was right up my alley. A really weird knife for under $10 by Fury 24/7. Of course I'm gonna buy this. Now the company that makes it is kind of weird. It's made by Joy Enterprises, which is based out of West Palm Beach, Florida. And they make a lot of weird stuff. If you go to their website, it's just a variety of stuff. I don't know. It's sort of like an import-export company, I suppose. But enough about that. Let's talk about the knife. So what we get is this pleasant-looking blue handle. And the way it works is the knife blade is inside of the handle, and to get it out, you got to crack it open, and then the blade swivels out like so, and then you close it up again with a nice satisfying snap. And down here you can see the Fury with like a shark fin circle thing. Now the blade itself is rather unique as well. What we're looking at is you have a cutting edge up along here. You got a chisel point at the tip so you can scrape stuff. And then you have a serrated grind on this side, along with what appears to be a wire cutter down here at the hilt. So a lot of variety in this blade, and I actually like having a scrapey blade as well. The Razel comes to mind, and that's a really popular knife that you can use to scrape things. But what I like the most is the way that it stores the blade in the handle, and of course the really unique compound blade configuration. And then when you're done working, you just flick it back into its handle, and of course you get that snap. One other little feature I forgot to mention is that at the base of the blade you have this little notch, which perfectly fits this little metal bar that's on the other side, and that's what gives you the snap. That's what happens when you unleash the fury. Next, we've got this knife, which came in a plastic bag, and it says FL250. Okay, this one, also really cheap, under $10, I thought was super unique, and I had to get my hands on one. What you were looking at is, it looks like a very smooth slab of plastic, and on the other side you have an interesting looking mechanism going on here. So this is another knife where the blade is stored in the handle, and the way it comes out is you get your finger under this little groove here, and on this other side is a hinge, and you lift the actuator up like so, and then you push the blade out like that. And then the actuator snaps down into place. And what you get is a very pitted, pathetic blade that may or may not even cut boxes. Oh, yeah. I don't think you should try cutting anything with this, folks. But I think with a little more effort, something more viable could be created using this sort of mechanism. It's just too cool to ignore, but the quality is too shit to actually use. And the third weird knife of the episode is Super Knife. Best quality stainless steel blade. This is it, everyone. Stop looking. You don't have to ever buy another knife again. It's here. The best quality blade. The Super Knife. This is everyone's grail knife. Your search is over. Just buy this. And it was only $7. Oh yes, you do not need to adjust your television set. You are looking at the Super Knife. You can see why I wanted it. What we have is one of those like cheap Rambo style survival knives. Interestingly, the blade is actually sharpened on both sides, so it is technically a dagger grind, and the whole thing is adorned with the skulls of its victims. Kind of interesting part is that there are a bunch of holes down the middle of the blade, and two of them like perfectly line up with this skull's eye sockets. You can't really see through it because there's a sticker on the other side. The Undead Fixed Blade. Wait, I thought it was Super Knife. The best part about the Super Knife is the handle, because you have all these skulls like kind of laying in a pile, and then as you rotate it, the skulls kind of start to melt as reality is bent. A hell reality, the likes of which H.R. Geiger and H.P. Lovecraft together couldn't dream up. I mean, look at this one. It looks like something H.R. Geiger would sculpt. The best thing about the Super Knife is the survival capsule. That's right, you unscrew the pommel to get a compass, which points you directly to the gates of hell. And on the inside, you'll find a survival kit consisting of 1, 2, 3 matches that probably will not light, some string, and a little teeny tiny hook, and a sinker. Is that a little hook in there? It's to give you the false hope that you might actually survive this thing. The next time I go camping, I fully intend on using this knife. You see this kind of skull pattern on a lot of novelty knives, usually by like Master Cutlery or Frost Cutlery or in various truck stops, which is why I like it so much. Wait, what does that say? Oh, it says China.